Welcome back to the One Tree Podcast. It's your host, Wasmo the Poet, here to tackle life's curveballs with you. Today, we're diving into something so simple yet so complex: choices. They shape who we are, who we'll become, and how we show up in the world. So, grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever fuels the vibe, and let's talk about the power of choices. And I like to quote this quote to begin, that in the end, we are our choices. That's a gem from John Paul Sartre. Think about it. Every decision, no matter how small, adds to the story of our lives. Are you writing the story you want? Every single day, we make 35,000 choices. Crazy, right? It does sound literally crazy, but I think we do make a lot of decisions from day in, day out. From hitting the snooze button to deciding what career path to follow, probably to deciding which even cloth to wear. Each choice plays a role. I think not all choices are created equal. Some we feel in the moment, others we don't realize until years later. And that's not, I'd love to share two stories, both from my time in the university, where life feels like one big decisions making random. So the first one is about when I had a chance to join a competitive student organization that promised networking opportunities. On the other hand, I had just started the side hustle and a small design project and didn't know if I could manage both. Everyone told me to stick with the organization, but my gut said to prioritize my hustle. That choice was terrifying because I didn't know if it would pay off. And looking back, it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. It instilled in me the importance of time management, grew my skills, and set the foundation for what will become what's more creative. The second story I would like to give is, it's more of like from a couple of weeks ago. I was juggling classes, group projects, and my podcast preparation. While I said I was invited to a weekend trip with friends and exactly the kind of escape I felt I needed. But deep down, I knew the time was crucial to preparing and producing my weekly segment here at the One Shot Podcast. Choosing to stay back wasn't easy. I definitely felt the loss of ditching a really good time with my friends. But dedicating that weekend to work allowed me to keep my promise, the One Shot Podcast. And now I get to connect with all of you, which makes the choice totally worth it. And I would love to think about a choice you made last week, big or small. How did it shape your week? Feel free to share it with us on our social media pages using the hashtag The One Ship Podcast. And I love to really hear your story. And to reflect on that, Albert Camus says that life is a sum of all the choices. It's the sum of all the choices. And I think it's in the same wavelength that I've ever had this conversation with someone, that I think on some mad levels we are born great. What we do makes the difference. And then we're asking ourselves, how then can we make better choices? And I love to share a few tips of which that have helped me personally to probably to put more thought into everything for actions. And the first thing I would say is we should pause before you leap, because sometimes decisions are reactionary. Instead, hit the pause button. Ask yourself, is this leading me to add or away from my goals? Is this leading to other right directions? Is this leading to what I'm standing for? And something else I would love to advise us to is think on long term. Long term, it's more of like short term for long term gain. That's the game. When you make a choice, envision where it will lead. And a good example would be delayed gratification, where we forego the present benefits for future benefits. And I remember a friend of mine who wanted to buy the latest iPhone, even though they were trying to save for a course in digital marketing. They wrestled with the decision for weeks, but finally chose to invest in the course. That one choice opened doors they didn't even know existed. Today they're running really mad vibes and the oranges and stuff. Another advice was to trust yourself in the long run, because a lot of times the decision often comes from doubting yourself. But hey, even no decision is a decision, so why not bet on yourself? I will throw in a fun exercise. The next time you face a choice, ask yourself, what will future me thank the current me for? And feel free to DM me your answers, because I think it's in this spaces that we experience each other's stories and experiences. And something to guide us will be that Stephen Covey says this, that you are free to make whatever choice you want, but you're not free from the consequences of the choice. Something to say to even sort of like it's something to say that in the path of making choices, we can't escape the path called regret. Because let's be real, we all have made choices we regret, but guess what? Every choice is a lesson in disguise. We could look at it in this way, that once I took a project I knew that aligned with my vision, the class demands were unrealistic and it left me drained. But instead of walking away, I kept going, afraid of seeming unprofessional. And when our class came to an end, I realized that I had compromised my values and my mental health. That regret went a long way in teaching me to set boundaries and say no when needed. It wasn't something that was so easy, but it was necessary. It's more of like you've made a bad decision. It's a space to own it, to reflect and learn and move on. Because failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, and this time more intelligently, as Evan Henry Ford says it. And as a good friend of mine, Elvis, say that we make our choices, we embrace whatever comes from it, and most importantly, we accept the embarrassment that comes from it, and we learn from it, and we pick ourselves up. I think that's what we decided a long time ago with this friend of mine, Elvis, when I think we were all these wonderful conversations of choices. And I think something to consider is that you're not defined by one choice or even a string of them. What matters is the next one you make. So it isn't the end of the world. The rectification can be done, and it should be focused when probably regret and bad choices are in plus. Life is all about choosing and rechoosing. And as we wrap up today, remember every decision is a chance to rewrite your story. It's in new moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So let's go shape our destinies one choice at a time. Thank you for tuning into the One Tree podcast. If today's episode hit home for you, don't keep it yourself. Share it with a friend, and let's spread these conversations about choices far and wide. Until next time, make good ones. Bye for now.